everybody, this is Stacy. As you can see, I have my dirty craft mat out today because we are going to do a quick tutorial. So now that you've made all your wonderful little goodies, you're going to need something to package them up in. So we are very quickly going to make a gift box similar to this, and we're going to use some of that postal paper or packing paper to do it. This you get in the mailing section at like Walmart or Target. You get a big huge thick roll of this stuff for like $5. And having said that, that roll is so wide that you can make just about any size box that you've got chipboard for. You're going to need some of your chipboard. Now my pieces today, and really the measurement is not important because this will adapt to any measurement, but my little box is an 8x8 square box. So my bottom is 8x8 and my my sides are like, I think they're 3 inches tall. So this is what I did. I just rolled out the paper. I kind of put my pieces around it like so. And then I just cut around, leaving enough room so there would be a pretty good amount of paper going in the inside of the box. I'm not even going to use a bunch of glue on this. I'm just going to use my ATG. So I already have the stuff. And the more things you make, the better you become at making them. I was going to make my own box. So start with the middle piece. I ran a bunch of ATG and set that down in the middle. We'll warn you though, if you do use glue, it's going to cause your paper to kind of crinkle up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. It'll cause it to bubble up. Don't freak out. It'll shrink back down for the most part, and you're going to cover it with paper anyway. So that's other pieces. And you want to do the same thing to all of your pieces. Before I forget, I better do this too. And before I stick everything together, let me go ahead and stick these down. Okay, when you stick your little side pieces of your box down, you're going to want to leave about a 1/4 of an inch. All right, okay, and then last but not least, so get all that down. Flip your paper over and just push it down. The wrinkles, it's okay. Like I said, you're going to be covering all that up. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is make yourself a little tool. It doesn't really matter the measurements, but you know, you want the paper wide enough that it's going to cover. It's going to go over and cover the box. If you want a nice, neat box, you make this little tool, and you want to make lines. This is where you are going to cut.
And you will see what I mean in a minute. But this is going to be so your box is nice and even, okay? Or not your box, but the paper around your box, I should say. Also, I'm pretty sure this is how they make those boxes that they sell at Michael's and whatnot anyways.
Now you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut all the way around.
Or you can use a ruler and a razor knife if you have a ruler that is long enough. So, sorry about the noise of the paper. I hope that's not too loud. Okay. And I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm sure some of this is probably on camera and some of this is probably off camera, but like I said, trying to do this really quick, and I'm sure you guys get the idea.
Okay, so you've got your paper trimmed all the way around, and it's nice and even and looks something like this, right? You're going to cut out some strips that are the length of your size of your box, in my case 8-inch strips, and they're going to be 8 inches by 1 inch, and you're going to score right down the center at 1/2 inch, okay? So you're going to cover these with glue. These are your supports for your box. So these are really going to help keep your box all kind of together. Okay, you're going to stick these down in here. I'll use my little tool that I made. And just make sure you do not have to push that in. You don't have to push that into the groove. Just make sure that the crease goes down, is even with the groove, or right on top of the groove, I should say. Okay. And then take your bone folder, or in my case, your piece of cardboard, because I don't want to get up and go grab it, and just kind of burnish that down. And you're going to want to do that. I don't know how many times I'm going to hit that camera. You're going to want to do it on all 4 sides. Working. Okay. And the last one up here. It's okay. So we did that, and while those are drying, we're going to cut our corners. So the easiest way to do this, so if you line this up, this first line here, if you're using this ruler, if you line this up with the corners of your boxes, give yourself 1/4 of an inch, take your craft knife, and just very carefully cut those off. Okay, and we're going to do this all the way around.
And you know, if you need a box for anything, this is so simple. If you already are making mini albums and things, and you've got chipboard,
I didn't mention it before, I don't believe, is a medium weight chipboard. It's the kind of chipboard that I use to make my mini album covers with. Okay, and so there's your shape now. We've got that all together. We're going to cut here all the way to our corner there. And I'm just gonna go straight in to the corner. I know that seems scary, but trust me, it works. And like I said, if you make a bunch of these, the more practice you have, the better you get, or the better you get, your boxes won't be wonky, and so on. We're going to take these and fold them in to just kind of score them. Okay, and I'm going to use my ATG again, and I'm going to put some along both of these sides. Can you see that? On here. And then I'm going to stick this here. Like that. And I may add a little glue in there. Just a smidgy bit. And then we're going to pull these over. Okay. Pull this side over. And we're going to squish in our corners just like our mini album covers. The corner of our mini album covers. I'll turn this way. So I'm going to push this in, and then I'm going to flatten it out. Okay. Flattening it out. And then when you fold it, you've got these nice, neat little corners. Okay. So, and then I'm going to take my ATG again, and I'm going to run it here and here. Some glue here. But really, you could probably do this all with tape. Not even being really neat about this. It comes out nice. And then push that all down. Okay. Now we're going to do that to same thing to the opposite side.
So pull these up and kind of burnish them a little bit. And then add your tape. If you're using tape. If not, do glue. I just think that this is kind of fast, you know. I usually do a combination of both when I make stuff. And I'm so running out of glue, you guys. I'm just gonna put a little in here. Then we're going to pull these over again. This one over again. And push in along here and squish that down. If you don't get it far enough, you can do it, you know, you can do it again. The same thing here. Push that in and down. And then you can always check it before you put your stuff on it. Okay. So let's do tape. Whoops. Get that off there. I'm all over the place with my stuff. It's because I'm so used to working. I'm used to working close in front of me. When you're not used to working with your further out from your body, then things become a little more difficult.
That's where I was a little bit crookedy. Okay, so you've got your two sides. They're both packaged up like that, like you would your mini album covers. Okay, now this side is a little bit different. We're going to fold this side down and glue that all down, because when we do, that's going to, this little corner here that's sticking out is going to hold our box together like that, okay? So we're going to, on our tape there, just peeling it or making it stick, making it stay. Okay, so we're gonna fold this one up this time, and we're gonna squish in our corners on the sides of our flap of our box instead. Okay, and then we're gonna put a little bit of tape on here. If you can get your tape gun in there. Okay, and a little bit of glue too. I'm just gonna go ahead and prep both sides. So fold your flaps up this way. So line it up, make sure that it's nice and even, and then pull your little flap over. And there you have your first corner. Okay, let's do this side. Same thing. Make sure it's even. Make sure everything's level. And pull it over. Okay, and we're going to do that on this side as well.
Beforehand. Okay. And it's no big deal if you can't get your tape gun in there all the way or whatever. Just flip your box around, use glue, whatever you need to do. Don't forget to squash your sides down. Push it down and in. Oh no, it's sticking. Oh, it's stick glue in there. So want a little bit of something to hold it. Hold it while the glue is drying a little bit. Otherwise you kind of have to hold it. So again, make sure everything is flush. Hold that in. Make sure everything is flush. Hold that in.
And there we have our nice little box. Check that out, you guys. Okay, there's some wrinkles that I was telling you about, but once you do your paper, so cut your paper. I did just like I did a mini album. So there's about an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So you just cut your strips and just used, again, my ATG and adhered the pretty paper to the outside, and you can see that's a pretty good looking box. Some of you are gonna ask, so how do you make a lid? Easy. Whatever the measurement of the bottom of your box is, my case, like I said, this is an 8x8 square box. You're gonna make the top of your lid measurement is going to be 1/4 of an inch bigger. So this is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, and it doesn't matter what size box. And then your side's going to be that much longer. So 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. This is 8 1/4, 8 1/4 length, 8 1/4 length, 8 1/4 length. Okay, and then however tall you want to make your lid. This is 1 1/4 inch for this lid. But if they fit, I mean, it's perfect. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you back here real soon. Bye-bye.